Did you know that some of Colorado's absolutely best places to live aren't the ones everyone's talking about? If you're tired of the same old recommendations, Boulder, Denver, and Fort Collins, then stick around because today I'm diving into northern Colorado's hidden gems and underrated towns that offer incredible quality of life, strong real estate potential, and the perfect balance of nature, community, and convenience. So if you're thinking about moving here, you're gonna want to hear this. What's up, beautiful people? My name is Noah, your Northern Colorado real estate and lifestyle expert. My phone number and contact info is gonna pop up right here, 720-741-7474. Text me, call me. I'm the one who answers all the questions from people just like you. So let's get into this video, and we're gonna talk about the very first town that's probably not on your radar, and that's Erie, Colorado. Now, Erie, Colorado is absolutely the best of both worlds. Now, let's hop into a map real quick so I can show you exactly where it is and what Erie is all about. So as we hop in here and take a look at the map, you can see Erie, Colorado situated right here. And location, it doesn't get any better than this. If you want to be close in proximity to Boulder or Denver, Colorado, and as you can see, you've got I-25 running north and south straight into Denver. You've also got access to Denver from 287 into Broomfield, and this location right here makes it so easy to commute for work or play. You also have access to Boulder, Colorado, straight from Erie. So what you have is you can get a little bit more home for your money in Erie, Colorado. And people that choose to work in Boulder or Denver but don't want to deal with some of the downfalls of those areas, Erie is absolutely perfect place for you to check out. Now, besides the awesome location, Erie has a lot of great things going for it. You're going to find newer homes with larger lots and quieter streets here in Erie versus Boulder or Denver and some of the other areas right here in northern Colorado. And you get all of this, the town's location, newer construction, larger lots, access to nature, all without sacrificing any of the amenities that you might want to see in a town. The downtown is awesome. It has one of my favorite restaurants, which is called the Berthoud. One of the other great spots to try is the Industrial Revolution Brewing. And here in Colorado, beer and craft beer is part of Colorado culture. So having these nice little local breweries in these small towns just means that you don't have to go anywhere to find some fun, to unwind after work, and support local businesses right in town. Now, if you're starting a family or you already have a family, Erie is a very family-friendly place and actually has some of the top-rated schools in the state. Erie High School consistently ranks high in academics and athletics. Now, because Erie is one of the fastest growing spots in Colorado, it is going to come along with some construction, but they are putting in new community centers, new schools, new sidewalks, new infrastructure, and of course, what comes along with that is new construction. So if you don't like construction, Erie might not be the best fit for you because it is going to continue to grow due to its amazing location, community amenities, and as well as the community spirit in Erie is just simply amazing. There are plenty of community events. There's the hot air balloon launching or hot air balloon weekend, which is amazing. There's tons of vendors. Hot air balloons go up in the sky. And let me tell you what, the beauty of the hot air balloons hanging there with the mountains in the background is truly something special. The kids run around, they go to all the craft booths, and it is an absolutely amazing time. One of the things you're going to notice about all these towns that I'm talking about are the communities. Because people here in Colorado genuinely want to get to know you, who you are, what you're about. And obviously, we need people to come alongside us and be there in life. And the communities and people here in all of northern Colorado are simply amazing, and Erie is no different. Now, if Erie fits you and you choose to buy a home in Erie, you are going to be in luck and ahead of the curve because prices are still reasonable compared to Boulder, but that's just not going to last long. Now, the next town on the list is Berthoud, Colorado, and this is a town that I'm calling a small town with big opportunity. Berthoud is a hidden paradise for anyone craving small town charm with easy access to big city perks. Let's go ahead and jump in the map so we can take a look at exactly where Berthoud is geographically located. And you see Erie right here on the map, and you can see that Erie located significantly closer to Denver and Boulder, and Berthoud is just north of Longmont here. So we hit up Erie. We're going to talk about Longmont later, but I want to talk about some of these small towns that you may have never heard of before and the beauty that these towns have to offer you. And Berthoud is no different. So here we have Berthoud right here on the map, and you notice that it is basically located in between Longmont right here and Loveland, which means that you get access to everything those cities have to offer. But both of those cities, Longmont and Loveland, are about 100,000 people. So if you're looking for something a little bit smaller, Berthoud is right around 15,000 people, I would say, and growing. But you have access to both Loveland and Longmont, both about a 15-minute drive from Berthoud. And Berthoud is a quiet, quaint little mountain town with great schools, amazing parks, and again, community. Now, one of the things about Berthoud you're going to notice right here is the TPC golf course, which is a world-renowned golf course that backs up to the beautiful Rocky Mountains. And it is one of the most amazing golf courses that I have ever seen. Now, I'm not a golfer, but I definitely love the outdoors, and that is an absolutely beautiful place. You also have access to Carter Lake and of course the beautiful Rocky Mountains very, very easily from Berthoud, and it is just a stellar place to be. Now, why would you want to live in Berthoud, Colorado? It's very, very simple. This is a classic Colorado town with the beautiful scenery and picturesque views of the Rocky Mountains, but you don't have to deal with any of the traffic or tourism that you're definitely going to have to deal with in Denver, Boulder, and Fort Collins. Now, Berthoud is rapidly growing, which means new construction with modern design built homes, but you are going to get significantly better prices in Berthoud than you are in other areas of northern Colorado. A couple of new and notable things that popped up in Berthoud over the last couple of years is they just installed a $2.7 million bike park. They have a state-of-the-art rec center that has pools, a climbing wall for the kids, an outdoor park that is literally 3 stories tall, a skate park. We're talking baseball fields, soccer fields, football, you name it. The Berthoud Rec Center. We actually live in Longmont, but we drive to the Berthoud Rec Center. Again, it's only a short 12 to 14-minute drive, and is worth it for us to drive from Longmont to Berthoud. So if you live in Berthoud, you get access to all of the things this wonderful town has to offer, including lots of green open spaces, beautiful parks and amenities, along with a very quaint and small downtown area. My wife loves to go there with the kids, walk around, grab some coffee, look at the trinkets and local shops, and it is just a very, very relaxed town. Now, because of the town's small size, this is a place to where everybody in town is going to know what kind of car that you drive. You're going to see the bank teller at the grocery store, and you're going to see your children's teachers at local events. This just brings this community together, and because it's so small, this is the type of community that everybody is going to know your name, know what you're about, and this is part of the beauty of Berthoud, Colorado. Now, Berthoud's home prices are significantly lower than nearby cities like Loveland and Longmont, but the demand is raising fast because you are going to get a newer home with a larger lot in Berthoud for about the same amount of money that you could get a resale home for in Loveland and Longmont. So the pressure that's put on Berthoud right now, because it is hidden right now, and I don't know how long this is going to last, but it is a town that has a lot to offer and something you should definitely put on your radar. Hey guys, this is a perfect time to go ahead and put my number in your phone, 720-741-7474. I am the one who answers all your text messages and phone calls. So go ahead and shoot me a question right now if you have it. I'm only here to help make your transition and relocation to northern Colorado stress-free and fun. Let's get back to this video. Now let's move on and talk about the third town on my list that you've never heard of, and that is going to be Johhnstown. Now, Johnnstown is by far one of the most affordable places that you can purchase a home here in northern Colorado. So if you're looking for a deal, if you're looking for a lower cost of real estate, but still want to be in Colorado, have access to Denver, Fort Collins, and the Rocky Mountains, Johnnstown might just be the place for you. Now let's jump in and take a look at the map and the lay of the land of Johnnstown. Now we've already covered Erie down here, just giving you guys a lay of the land. We spoke about Erie, we came up here and talked about Berthoud, and now we're actually going east of I-25, which is the first town we're going to talk about east of I-25, and that's going to be Johnnstown. You can see I've got it highlighted on the map right here with close proximity to Loveland. You have close proximity to Fort Collins, driving north on I-25, and south on I-25, you guys know, is going to get you straight into Denver. Now, Johnnstown is one of the more rural communities that I'm going to talk about today. It being on the east side of I-25, you're going to have a little bit more room in Johnnstown because you're not pressed between the Rocky Mountains and I-25. Things get a little bit congested in there. East of I-25, you're going to notice that real estate values get a lot cheaper because you're just a little bit further distance from the mountains. And if you're looking for a more rural community, Johnnstown is going to be that town that you want to check out. It's going to have larger lots. You're going to see older homes there as well as newer construction popping up because Johnnstown is going to be the next big thing, along with Firestone and Frederick, which I'm going to talk about later on in this video. So why the heck would you want to live in Johnnstown? Let me tell you, new schools, new parks, new businesses. Johnnstown is really investing in growth and infrastructure because the town knows that everything is moving east from the mountains. All of the money, all of the traffic, everything is slowly seeping out and moving easterly, which means that if you guys are looking at wanting to live in a small town, being in a small community, having still access to new construction, and want to put your money into a place that is going to appreciate over the next 5 years, Johnnstown is going to be one of those spots. Now, if you're looking for a home under $500,000, but still close to everything, Johnnstown is where you need to look. The market here is heating up, but it's still way more affordable than any of the other towns in the Front Range. Now, the next hidden gem on the list is Niwot. Again, probably a town that you've never heard of, but this is a hidden luxury spot that locals want to keep secret. Now, Niwot is right next to Boulder, but it feels like you're absolutely a world away because it's quiet, it's upscale, and you have quick access to all of the amenities, including Boulder, including Denver, but you don't have to deal with any of the stress of living in those areas. Let's hop in and take a look at the map so you guys can get a lay of the land, because you might not even know where Niwot is. I mean, I didn't when I was looking at relocating here. So let's just give you a quick recap. Down here, you've got Erie, which is going to be close to Boulder and Denver. Up here, you've got Berthoud we talked about, and also Johnnstown right here. And right in between Longmont and Berthoud, you see this little tiny area right here, which is going to be the town of Niwot. And as you can see by looking at the map, it's pretty much smack dab in the middle of Longmont and Boulder along Diagonal Highway. Now, Niwot is a tiny, tiny little town, obviously situated very, very close to Boulder, which means that you get access to the mountains, you get access to Denver, you get access to Longmont, but without any of the traffic and any of the craziness that is the 40,000 transient population of people that live in Boulder, Colorado. Now, Niwot is a super small, tiny little quaint town. We actually take the kids there from Longmont. My wife loves to go grab coffee, go to the park, stare at the big, beautiful Rocky Mountains. But why would you want to live here? Well, it's like Boulder except for without the chaos. You get the amazing small town charm, local shops, and high-end, custom, big, beautiful luxury homes. The school systems in Niwot are going to be top tier. Niwot High School still has some of the absolute best rankings in the state. And if you love biking or hiking, all the trails around Niwot are absolutely next level. There are miles and miles and miles of open green space and trails so you can connect more with the great outdoors, which is part of the reason why people actually relocate to Colorado. So not only do you have this beautiful small town, which you actually get to take advantage of what is in Boulder, what Boulder has to offer, what Denver has to offer, what Longmont has to offer, but at an extreme slower pace. Now, homes in Niwot hold their value incredibly well because nobody moves from Niwot. If you get on right now and you take a look at the listings in Niwot, they very, very rarely come up. So if you've decided that Niwot is absolutely the place for you, shoot me a text or phone call because I'm going to need to get you those listings before anybody else. Now let's jump from the small luxury market of Niwot into another town that you have probably never heard of, and that's Windsor, Colorado. But before we hop into that, I do want to give a couple of mentions to towns that I'm not going to cover today because I've covered them extensively on all my other videos. So if you want to learn about Longmont and Loveland, make sure and go to my channel and click on the playlist for Loveland and Longmont because I have literally covered those towns from top to bottom. So if you're interested in Loveland or Longmont, make sure and go check them out. But we are headed to Windsor, Colorado. Let's dive into the map here again real quick so you guys can get a lay of the land. Obviously, we've covered Erie, we've covered Niwot, we have covered Johhnstown and Berthoud, and we're headed up north from Johnnstown and you run into the beautiful brand new town of Windsor, Colorado. Now, Windsor has a couple of great things due to its location. Obviously, we already talked about this. Anything east of I-25 right here is going to be a little bit more affordable because you're just a little further from the mountains. Now, you can get a lot more homes in these areas like Johnnstown, like Firestone and Frederick, which are going to be right down here, and I've covered those extensively in my other videos as well. We're jumping into towns that are just not on people's radars right now. So Windsor here, you are in very, very close proximity to Fort Collins, to Loveland, and you have easy access to I-25 in order to get to Denver. And one of the things I didn't mention for all of these other towns is you are going to need to take I-25 in order to get to I-70, which is going to get you to all the ski resorts, Vail, Breckenridge, Winter Park, all of them along I-70. And you also have easy access from Windsor to get to Rocky Mountain National Park, which is an easy drive from there as well. So Windsor's location is part of the reason that it's popping off right now, but it's also one of those towns that is not getting any press, and I don't know why, because it is absolutely beautiful and has a lot to offer. Now, when we're talking about Windsor, I would describe it as a small town, but with all of the big city perks. So you get the best of both worlds, having a small town feel, a well-connected community, but with all of the modern amenities. Now, 5 or 6 short years ago, there was literally nothing about Windsor that would be attractive. It was very small. Its location is good because you have access to Fort Collins. There was really nothing happening out there. Fast forward to now, and new construction is absolutely booming. There are new businesses, new employers moving into town, new restaurants. There are these beautiful master planned communities that have parks, recreation centers, gyms, swimming pools, and they are absolutely fantastic. So if you want a home that is going to be large, beautiful, on a big lot, and you don't want to take care of any of the maintenance, and you want to have access to all of the amenities like you would have on a resort, Windsor has that for you. It's also a perfect place to be if you work in Fort Collins or Loveland, but don't want to deal with the city life. Windsor is going to be a great spot, obviously because of its location and easy access to both of those cities. And Windsor, just like all the rest of the towns that we covered here today, is going to have a great community vibe with lots of local events, festivals, and a growing downtown. Like I said, bringing in new restaurants, bars, breweries, and the town is an absolute blast. Now, of course, we can't talk about Windsor without talking about how the real estate market has absolutely exploded in the past 5 years. So if you're looking to relocate to northern Colorado, buying here means that you are absolutely going to benefit from the large appreciation that's poised to happen because Windsor is now officially on the map in northern Colorado. Now let's go from Windsor, Colorado, and let's head south on I-25, headed towards Denver. And what do you see? Oh my gosh, you are going to see Firestone and Frederick right here on the map, which is the last towns that I'm going to talk about today that are probably not on your radar. So as we take a look at Firestone and Frederick, and yes, they are absolutely divided by a street, so I kind of put them together because literally this street right here is the difference between Firestone on the north side and Frederick on the south side. Now, it's interesting to note the location of Firestone and Frederick and give you guys a lay of the map. Right here's Erie again, up here is Windsor, we've got Berthoud we talked about, Niwot we talked about, and right here is going to be Firestone and Frederick. Now you can clearly see by taking a look on the map that the location here is great for two reasons. Number one, you have easy access to I-25, and number two is because you are east of I-25, the cost of real estate and cost of living is going to be slightly lower than towns that are on the west side of I-25. Now, obviously, one of the nice things about Firestone and Frederick is you have easy access to Longmont, you have easy access to Erie, and of course, if you have to commute to Denver, you are right on I-25. It is a piece of cake commute, and you have all of this with all of the small town feels that you get from Firestone and Frederick, Colorado. Now, a sneaky local tip here, probably nobody else is going to tell you, is the views from Firestone and Frederick are going to be better than the views of the Rocky Mountains from Longmont because Longmont is closer to the mountains and all you see is the foothills. When you get a little bit further away, the views absolutely are amazing because you see the whole entire mountain range, just not the foothills. So a little sneaky tip for you right there on Firestone and Frederick. One of the other reasons that you might choose Firestone and Frederick is because they are small towns. We're talking about 15,000 people, give or take, and these small communities just give residents a little bit of slower pace of life. Firestone and Frederick also has over 35 parks and 12 miles of trails. So again, connection with nature is part of the city planning here in Colorado. And if you're not used to that, you're going to see a bunch of open green space with trails that are all public use. And it's one of the beautiful things about relocating to northern Colorado is every single one of these communities takes great pride in connecting its residents to the beautiful great outdoors. And Firestone and Frederick have absolutely done an amazing job with city planning and community planning. Everything there is going to be similar to Windsor. It's going to be new. We're talking about new schools, new shopping centers, new businesses, and obviously along with that comes some construction. So once again, if you do not like dust, if you don't like construction, you're going to want to look at some of the other areas that we discussed today because Firestone and Frederick are absolutely booming right now. Now, as you can see from today's video, Colorado has a lot more to offer than just the big name cities. These towns have real communities and people that genuinely care for one another. So if you're thinking about moving to northern Colorado and want some expert guidance along the way, hey, my cell number is right here, 720-741-7474. Again, I am just here to help you dissect northern Colorado to figure out what town and what lifestyle is going to fit your needs the best. And if you've already decided that northern Colorado is the place for you, you're going to want to go watch this video right here where I break down the top mistakes from all the people I've seen move here and make some horrible mistakes. So make sure and go check that video out right here because it is going to give you a step-by-step guide to not making these mistakes. And remember, friends, stay adventurous. I'll see you in the next video.